Hey there, this is Wythe Marshall from the Stillfleet Studio. We put together a little podcast called Why We Roll, and now we're very proud to be part of the network Podderation. So if you're listening to one of Podderation's other great shows, and you're interested in TTRPGs specifically, that's tabletop role-playing games, you might be interested in our show. Why We Roll is all about how you make TTRPGs, what makes them fun, different kinds of stories you can tell with TTRPGs, and even the business, so the practical advice side. So if any of that sounds appealing, whether you're a GM, you want to design your homebrew game, or you're interested in getting in the industry, why don't you head over to Why We Roll, check us out. We really, really appreciate it, and keep making awesome stuff.
Nominees, the podcast where everyone's welcome at the table, but of course, as always, no one knows whose turn it is. This is Chris.
Hey, and this is Anthony.
And this is episode 570, Origin Game Fair Award nominees. We'd like to thank all our Patreon backers for helping us unlock a brand new episode, folks. Hey everyone, welcome back. We're so glad to have you here this week, and we have Anthony back this week, so we're really feeling it.
Yes, we're here. We're doing it.
We're doing a thing. It's still a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah. If you're going to read a giant list of game award nominations, you need me here. So
we do. We need our specialists here because it's a list of things to evaluate, and who better to evaluate a list of things than us, Anthony? Let's be honest.
Exactly.
We're an evaluator of things and lists of things and things that are lists. So it feels it falls 100% into our wheelhouse.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Weirdly enough. So if you have a list of things or things of a list, let us know. And then we'll go through those. And we'll let you know how that's a list of things or a thing in a list.
Yeah, we're getting there. That makes sense. Yeah,
it's a specialty. It's a specialty. Yeah. It's very niche. But if you need some guys to do a thing, that's a thing we can do.
Yeah, we have done it literally hundreds of times.
Yes. So we will be taking a look at the Origins Game Fair Award nominations. This is from our friends at Gamma. They put together a big game convention in June. It's the longest one. I think 5 days, right? Give or take. Or at least they say 5 days, give or take.
They say 5 days. Wednesday's kind of a bit of a joke, but
yeah.
Sure, you can go inside.
You can go inside, and one of the things typically you can go inside, and one of the things you typically can see or hear or experience is their awards ceremony / I don't know if they still do the voting there. It's been a couple of years since we've been there. But back in the day, there used to be like a People's Choice Awards, and we voted, we took a look at those things.
Yeah, you go like a little corner, you go back there. You couldn't like play the games in that space, but you could fiddle with them.
Yeah, you could see them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you poke it around and see like this is what's nominated, and what do you think should win?
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. It was a good time. And we got to, as members of the media, go to a couple of those different presentations and awards ceremonies. We were in the media section in the back, but we were still there. Remember
These
that?
Awkward little chairs like behind all the tables. Yeah.
It was such a weird, like, it's a gigantic room, and like we know all of these people and these people know us. So it's not like any of this is new or different or odd in any kind of way. But the people, the hardcore Gamma people, the publishers, the designers, are all on these nice round tables up front. And then it was like a giant bar. And then like all the media people were in like single chairs. So in the back, it was like,
yeah, I was like, had my laptop and I'm like, oh, I guess I can't use this. They didn't give us a table. So I'm going to tweet from my phone.
Yeah. I remember we did that year. I mean, it was fun. It was fun. It was just odd. It was just an odd, weird social class separator kind of situation. And again, a lot of those tables weren't even full, if I remember correctly, too.
Yeah, it's funny. But hey, we got to go. It was an interesting experience with other guys.
It was, yeah. And some I think some years we were they involved the media more.
Yeah.
And I think over the years, a little bit less as time went on. But it's a good opportunity to see all the great games that are happening out there. We talked about much of the list early in January, and I think we'll circle back around to it as the year kind of progresses, especially as the convention season comes on board, and then more games are being announced again and again. So like Windmill Valley was just recently announced. It's going to get a dual version, because games are getting dual versions left and right, because clearly the industry has been like, hey, you know what, Anthony? It's expensive to ship things right now.
Yeah. Yes, but let's make it smaller, but new and different, but not really, just smaller.
Yeah, so a lot of the publishers are dealing with smaller versions. Some of the situations are shrinkflation, where the base games are becoming smaller so that they can ship easier, and then you can pick up the other stuff with expansion. So you're going to see some shifting going on as far as products and retail that historically, like bigger base games, not so much a thing. And obviously, without getting into kind of details, the world is having some issues at the moment, and certainly shipping and fuel prices will kind of play into some of those things as well. So more of the things that we do not like.
Yeah, I know. It's frustrating, but you know, it's kind of the way of things at this point.
A little bit.
Smaller games, keep it simple.
Smaller games, card games, little tiny board games, except for Kickstarter and GameFound, that somehow is just like, you know what? Everything. Just everything.
Oh man.
So if you're willing to ship it as a backer, I think it doesn't not matter at that point.
Yeah. You either get a tiny little bit or you get everything.
There's no middle these days.
Like there are legit like campaigns that go up now. I'm like, oh, that looks interesting, and then I look at the backing options. I'm like, I don't want that bot. It's so big. I don't want that. Can you just give me a small version without all the expansions? And they're like, no, buy it all.
Yeah, I think eventually the industry, or at least the community, might have to move towards more just like retail purchasing, because just again, cost of shipping and the way the games are coming out, which is sad, because there's nothing more extraordinarily beautiful than those Kickstarters with all the stuff.
Right.
But you know, even their price alone, along with the shipping and everything else that's currently happening, is an issue, and it seems like it's not going to go away. It's only going to get worse as time goes on. So
yeah, it does seem to just keep getting worse, doesn't it?
So if you have games, and you should, because why else would you be listening to this podcast? But if you're listening to this podcast and don't have games, like, way to go! Like, thanks for listening. That's awesome. But if you do have games, you might want to hold on to them for a minute, because it might be hard to get games in the future.
Yeah,
a little bit.
A little bit.
Well, elsewhere in the gaming universe, Anthony, the industry that we love and care for so much, Hasbro, the CEO, promised that there will be no AI used in art for Magic or D&D. Done. Said it.
It'll never happen, ever, because it's he said it.
He did say it.
That's all you got to do is say it, and then it's done, right?
How would one get around that, Anthony? I don't see. It seems like bulletproof to me.
No, yeah, I mean, you would have to lie, and that's clearly not his intention.
No.
So I think probably it's fine.
I do appreciate the fact that at least he's making that statement. And obviously,
yeah,
I think the vast majority of their artwork does come from other places. So,
yeah, I think that's a very good point. It's there's no evidence that they use AI or anything. I think people are just worried about it, because it seems like it would be easy to do.
Yes.
And because it would be easy to do, people are concerned that they would do that.
Sure.
Again, there's no reason to think that that's what's happening. So I totally respect the need to come out and say that. I'm cynical about anything related to AI these days, for many reasons. So,
yeah.
It's tough not to be, but at the same time, it's part of the work. And that's the thing, is a lot of these corporations have purchased it. They want their employees using it. It increases productivity.
Yes.
And then, but if they're in the creative industry, they do have to come out and be like, well, we're not using it for the creative side, but it's using it for the business side.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know how you draw that line, but I hope you're doing a good job of drawing that line.
Yeah. And just like, I mean, technology generally, right? It moves so incredibly fast that, ethically, technically, legally, we seem to be always behind the eight ball on that.
Yeah.
And obviously the marketing, the branding, the implementation of this by so many different people has led to so many problematic situations. And we don't know the future, and it's getting better. So how could you even tell if something was AI artwork or AI written? Eventually it's going to get to a point where you may not be able to tell the difference.
Yeah. No, I had a client today. It was like, we have this plan and we want to do this, this, and this, and we want to use AI to do all these things. However, it can't quite do it. So we're going to make the plan and we're going to schedule the implementation for Q1 of next year, because I think by then it'll be good enough to do these things. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right.
Sure.
You're going to, but like, I'm actively looking at this. I'm like, if this works, you get to lay off half your service staff.
Crazy.
And it's just, it sucks. I don't know that they'll do that. I don't know what their plan is, but it just, they could, and that's frustrating. And so, like, yeah, when you see it in creative industries, you're like, that's like the one area I want my Star Trek future. I don't want it to replace us in the creative end.
Yeah.
I don't care how much more productive it makes you. Productivity is not the point of creative work. So keep it away from that.
Yeah, I mean, the promise of technology has always been historically, at least in the best circles with the best minds, that it was supposed to take us away from the grind so that we could do art, right? At the end of the day, everyone is an amazing creative spark of life, and they have something wonderful to contribute to the world. It doesn't have to be painting or, specific arts and crafts, but there's something that they could add to the world if only they had the time and the space and the money and the resources to do so. So AI and technology and robotics at some point very, very soon should be able to do that, should bring on a renaissance, like you said, from like a Star Trek utopia situation where, again, a lot of the basic problems and issues and things that we're dealing with could somehow be worked out, but you have to provide for the populace, and that seems to be always the problem, is that that's where the problem really comes into play.
Yeah.
How do you deal with people? And again, it comes, I mean, in my perspective, it comes from, or needs to be stated in a very philosophical, psychological, social way. Like, how do we think about other people in the world? And typically it's not framed that way. It's framed in politics, which I think is a distraction. It's not about teams. Let's get down to the real reason. Like, this technology is happening. It's going to get better. It's going to be more implemented in different areas and expertise. Now what? What does that mean now? I mean, the jobs report here in the United States, I think they were down a crazy amount of jobs when they didn't expect that to be. And that's only going to continue. And college graduates, first time in forever, have had, the worst employment rates with a bachelor's degree ever. So what's next?
Yeah.
That's an interesting kind of conversation. So it's affecting the creative market in which we play in. And we've had this conversation before. AEG got involved and was like, hey, we can just replace our designers with AI. And I guarantee you, and I have no knowledge or information on this, so don't quote me, but I guarantee you there are games out there that are AI created. I mean, why wouldn't there be?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, of course there are.
They've been designed and up and down and left and right. So
yeah, no, it's so quick and easy to use.
Yeah. And it could steal from everything.
Yeah, totally.
Somebody pointed this out the other day, like way back when we were kids, Anthony. Remember, like, you watch a VCR cassette and like at the beginning was the gigantic FBI warning that this can't be duplicated or misused anyway. Or like Major League Baseball says you can't rebroadcast, and like now that's like no one cares now. Right? Like, how did that happen? God.
Yeah, we all steal everything. Well, because once you say the corporations can steal all that IP, you're like, well, why shouldn't I do that? I don't care. I can do whatever I want.
It's really crazy. And no one owns anything digitally. Everyone thinks like, oh, you own a digital copy of something until they pull it off. Because again, you don't. They decide when they're going to pull something off. So hold on to your board games.
Right?
Hold on.
They're not licensed. They can't come take it out of your house. You own that.
Hold on to your physical media. As archaic as it may sound, you never know when you won't be able to see your favorite show or movie. Mm-hmm. And again, with the prices of streaming now more than ever, and the way they're consolidating, it's only going to get more expensive.
Yeah. In the last year, I've canceled most of our streaming services, and I've started buying physical media again because
it's crazy.
I canceled Paramount a few months ago, and I was like, oh, I can buy all the Lower Decks Blu-rays because
I did that a while back.
I like this show and I don't want to give money to Paramount.
100%. I did that a while back, and I'm just like, yep. And again, they cycle their shows, so you don't. It's sad when you can't find something that you want to watch. So
I know.
who knew we got to? I mean, again, let's be more ethical. Like, pay everyone so everyone can create, and then everyone can utilize and benefit from it. So, tabletop gaming, as I think I stated at some point previously, but also on Facebook and other places, like, it's a very unique artisan craft and hobby of real people. It's not video games. They're not, AI generated avatars and such. Like, these are real people that are sitting at a table with you in person, playing something that was crafted by someone.
Mm-hmm.
The flaws and the beauty and the time that they put into it is what makes it so special and unique. Right. And as soon as you start, which you already are, putting AI into that. Again, AI can support, we did a whole episode on this, Anthony. AI can support gaming, but once it replaces the designer and the artist and the writer, you've taken the heart out of the hobby, and that's it. Yeah. It's done.
Yeah, there's just like, what's the point? What are we doing? If anybody could create anything, but none of it's personal, there's no soul in it. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, and you need that designer to be able to be in that creation, because AI cannot, at least now, and I almost would say can never fully understand the human in the world, especially when they're playing a game. Like,
right,
that algorithm or that creation that someone, when they make a tabletop game, they're considering at all points the person who's playing that game. AI can't consider a person at the level of a creator, because they're not a person.
Right.
You need to have that personhood to go, I'll feel this way. Oh, that'll be a moment, or this will be like that. Like, you have to have that human element to know that experience will come through the game.
It's curated, right? Like, no art is perfect. That's what makes art perfect. It's all inherently flawed. That, like, I can't think of a single game on my shelf that doesn't have some issue with it. But it's often the best games, those blemishes, enhance the whole.
Yes.
You can't bake that. And, we say AI can do this or can't do this. We don't know what it can do or what it will be able to do in the future. But that inherently human piece where someone's like, no, I really like this part, even though it doesn't quite work, I'll make it work a little bit. Like,
sure.
That's just not something that's a machine can do, because it's not what it's designed to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, and again, it's just the human connection that somehow it's a human experience. When a designer is making a human experience, you're experiencing the human experience through the design. And I think that has value. I mean, I think that's in some cases, Anthony, that's where a lot of the serious games have kind of, flailed and faltered, where they're so overly engineered to do a thing that they forget the human element in that. And that's why a lot of serious games are not fun.
Yeah.
There's just not that engaged. It's like, oh, it's work.
Yeah.
And again, you and I have played hundreds of Euro games that might as well be spreadsheets, but because of the human element, they're not. They don't feel that way,
fun.
At least.
Yeah. And honestly, it could be kind of a fun exercise almost to, like, take a fun game with a lot of mechanics and make it unfun.
There's a list of things we could do.
Yeah. How do we take this really good game and make it bad? How many things would we have to change to make this bad?
I like it.
Yeah.
De-evolve some of these games, or run it through AI a number of times until it just becomes a spreadsheet. It reverts to some sort of weird, mutated form.
Right, so. Yeah. ChatGPT, remove anything that makes this unique.
That's right.
any quirks. That's
true. I mean, last thing on this too is just like, I think David Lynch, who recently passed away, probably best known for Twin Peaks, Elephant Man, and Eraserhead, and a lot of other stuff. Like, he would always talk about the mystery of his movies and TV shows, and like how it was essential to keep that mystery intact. Because if he told you what it was, or if he solved that mystery for you, then it loses the human element to it. Like, some things need to remain mysterious, human, flawed, that kind of realness to it in order to be engaging, right?
Yeah.
Because if it, like, you watch a movie like, oh, that's what that is. Oh, okay, and then immediately your brain goes, well, I'm done with this, and I'm going to move on.
Right.
Instead of like, I don't understand what this is. This seems very weird and different. David Lynch's films are very strange and different, and that's what's wonderful about them is that level of engagement he gives you by providing that kind of surreal mystery that sometimes like Cthulhu-esque Eldritch God kind of vibe to it, where it's just like, it's beyond me, and it's so beyond me, it's scary and horrifying, but it's also that mystery and that horror of like, it's bigger than me, that I want to continue to learn and invest more into it. So
Right.
it's a beautiful, wonderful mystery, and we're really thankful for all the designers out there. So we're happy to talk about that this week. All the people that are being awarded and nominated, but certainly there are so many more out there that are working on their games right now, and so many designers that put years into their games. And again, from the bottom of our hearts, we really do appreciate the hard work that they do. Don't give into AI. Don't do it.
No, it's so easy. I get it, but don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. No, you're awesome. Stay with it. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
we certainly do. All right. Well, before we get into all that fun stuff with our feature review, Anthony, let's get on to the other stuff that we want to talk about. Let's roll for preview.
Yes. Preview we are here. I want to talk about a game that we saw at PAX, and I didn't get a chance to play it, but I definitely like hovered and watched it played a few times because it just had a really strong table presence. And they had a really strong booth presence too. This is Rematch, the puzzle fighter board game, which is on Kickstarter right now. It's up for like another 3 weeks, so plenty of time to check it out if you're interested. And it is a 1v1, so it's a 2-player game, arcade themed puzzle fighter board game. So think there's a whole genre of puzzle fighter video games, which are effectively some form of like match 3 or match 4 type of thing, but combining with like combat elements. So Super Puzzle Fighter or any of those. And so this is kind of taking that idea, and so you get the vibe, like the graphic design, the physical design. It looks like an arcade cabinet. You have like these characters who look like they're straight out of a 2D fighting game from the 90s. And then you have this tray full of red, yellow, and blue balls that you're trying to manipulate to form different combos to attack your enemy. So it is literally like a puzzle fighter. But of course, each player has like their own special abilities and stuff. So it comes with, I think, 6 different characters. And then each of these characters has just their own combination of stuff. You take these marbles, and I guess they are technically marbles, but they're really big. And you get these different combinations based on how you pull them, and you do an attack or do an ability or chain something together. And so it's got like potion explosion vibes.
Yes.
But combined with like puzzle fighter. And it just looks very cool. The only problem I have, because like when I saw it at the convention, I was like, that looks cool. I'm going to like bookmark it. I'll come back to it. And then they put it up. I'm like, that looks cool. I should check that out. I want to see if I could pick that up. The base version of the game is $100.
Oof.
So that's just the base game with acrylic standees.
Yeah.
That's it. The Art Collector's Edition, which then has the additional characters you might be interested in. It's 4 stretch goal characters, which is lame. Don't pay gate the characters. That's not cool.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's $150. And then the Super Turbo Edition, which comes with a bunch of other weird stuff, like some signatures and additional characters that are super exclusive, I guess. $199. So, and they also have some upgrades in there if you want like metal coins and glass marbles, because the marbles are probably plastic.
Wow,
so
glass marbles are another $40.
Yes.
Okay.
So the highest level pledge here is $300. That just comes with some swag like pins and t-shirts and stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know.
It really has a super cool anime arcade kind of vibe to it. I mean, really I really love the artwork here. And obviously, again, they're saying explicitly here, no AI artwork here. So like just a lot of great designers across the board.
It's just, like you look at it and you're like, like the production value is really high.
It's crazy high.
But also, it's not that much stuff.
No.
Like, why does it cost so much?
Well, you pay for the artwork. Maybe that's just what it comes down to.
Artwork's really good. Yeah, I have to give them credit for that. And, like, there's a lot of design here beyond just artwork. Like, it's, like, structural design and visual design and, like, just the elements of each, you know.
Sure.
Like, and each of the characters is thematic in a way. Like, if you get the chef, for example, like, their board is, like, them in a kitchen, and then they have a chef board, which is, like, a wok full of noodles.
That's funny.
It's like, it's cool. It's cool
Sure.
to have all that stuff. But, like, if I got a game like this, and, like, I mentioned this before, like, I'm looking for games that I can pick up that are not $400.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just give me the base game and let me have the cool stuff. If I get a game like this, I want all the characters. That's the most important thing.
100%.
I don't really care about all the bling. Give me, like, cheaper marbles. Give me, like,
Sure.
Can I use Potion Explosion? Like, I'll use that instead. But no, I want all the characters.
Yeah.
Like, 6 out of the box is fine, but if you're telling me there's 4 additional exclusives,
Yeah.
and then, like, maybe even more beyond that, I'm like, well, that's not cool.
It's one of those games where you hope you don't like it,
Yeah.
so you won't be like. Again, it's hard because if you do like it, then how are you not buying, all of it, right?
Yeah, but then it's like some of this stuff is exclusive, so.
Yeah, and they've gone out of their way to get literally, seemingly not literally everybody, but almost everybody to kind of endorse this campaign.
Yeah.
And like you said, at the end of the day, it's honestly just, small box that's just used for the fun of it to look like a video game. And then it's basically a little box with a bunch of marbles in it.
Yeah.
And you utilize the marbles and then they do the potion explosion thing, like how they kind of fall down, fall out. And then you activate certain characters' abilities. So again, we've seen this, as you mentioned, there's so many different games that are like this. And these become almost immediately lifestyle games because how else do you keep up with all the different characters,
right,
and the cost?
Yeah, and it's like, it's the kind of game where I'm like, I could pick this up, and they probably release new characters over time, and I could pick those up, and that'd be great. But I think knowing I need to spend $150 to get the game with all 10 characters,
Sure,
I have to pass. But it looks really cool. Hopefully someone I know buys it. I want to play it.
Yeah, no, it again, it's there's always that kind of thought every once in a while in my head where it's just like, this could be my thing. Like, I could just this could be me. I could be that guy coming to game night and just be like, he's bringing that game. And like, that could be very cool because you're bringing that game with all those characters and everyone can play it. And like, that's your thing from now on. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think this could be your thing plus everything else.
No.
I mean, God bless you if you can. And if you can, let us know so we'll come over and play.
Right, yeah. If this is your thing and you live near me, let me know. I'll play with you.
100%. So, yeah, you have until March 31st, 2026 to back it. It's already way over its backing goal of $50,000 at $216,000. And rematch, the Puzzle Fighter board game. Pretty cool, kids. I don't know.
Looks good.
Stop doing things like that, man. It's not
It costs
cool.
so much freaking money.
I tell you. Jeez. It's marbles, man. Who knew marbles was where we should be investing in?
Marbles.
People
is where
are like
at.
dice, right? You go to a convention and you see all the dice out there, and like people are dice gremlins and they buy all the dice, but like marbles, man, the market for marbles. If you get in early on marbles, you're set for life.
Maybe.
So,
it's possible. Yeah, looking at this.
Marbles are the new dice.
Yeah.
It's a thing. All right. Well, let's roll on to review here on games that are a lot less expensive, Anthony. Like, tremendously. Conceivably, possibly, you could afford these games, so don't worry about it. It's a thing in the real world out there. So, yeah. So we're happy to talk about things that we do have and do afford. So first up is a game that came out, I guess, relatively towards the end of last year, Point Galaxy. Build your galaxy, score points in hundreds of unique ways. Obviously, this is in the, I guess, the family of point games, so to speak. So you have Point Salad, you have Point City. We've played I have now played all three of these.
Mm-hmm.
Will and Megan, who's also been with us previously, they've also played these. And they're probably best known for AEG games. These are small box games, and they follow a very simple gateway game, give or take. We'll discuss that in a minute. Kind of format for this, and this is also spoiler here, I guess. It's also one of the games that has been nominated for the Origins Game Fair, so we'll talk a little bit more about that too.
Synergy,
I tell you. So, Point Galaxy. First off, let me say just very quickly here, because again, I just mentioned this. Anthony, you've played Point Salad and you've played Point City.
I have. They're both
good.
Do
you like those games?
I do quite a bit.
Okay. Do you like one more than the other?
I like Point City a little bit more. Point Salad is great because it's quick and easy to teach, but it's pretty one-dimensional. Point City had some really interesting mechanics, and it's still relatively easy to teach. I've played that one a lot more, I think. Yeah,
Point Salad on BGG is a 1.15 weight. And I would certainly venture out here an argument that Point Salad is one of the best gateway games.
Yeah.
Because, and I mean that as like not taking someone from Monopoly necessarily, but somebody who wants to get into games, like hobby kind of games, and like, hey, what's this thing? Well, this is what's called set collection. So
I use this one in my classroom, like in week 2, when we haven't scaffolded much, and it's always a very quick teach.
Yeah.
I've had very little trouble, and they usually get in like 3 games of it in the hour. Like, it's a really good one, which shows me it is a gateway game. It's like single mechanic.
Yeah.
Very simple. Like, so yeah, you're spot on.
Yeah, and again, it's such a brilliant design because the plates that are showing you the victory point conditions that you're able to choose.
Mm-hmm.
Not only can you build towards those, but you can also wait later to actually pick those up. Or in fact, if it's not working for you, you could flip that card over so it's no longer a victory condition or hurts you as far as the point. So there's a lot of flexibility in that kind of game design. It's not just like you had X number of things, but like you choose what scores and what doesn't score, which I think is brilliant. Mm-hmm. And it has that really nice kind of snowballing mechanic where if you got tomatoes on a couple of different point scoring cards, you're just going to just slam tomatoes for the rest of the game.
Right.
So it's really straightforward. As Anthony said, it's really fun, really simple, straightforward. Point City. Now, Point City is a little more complex. According to BGG, it's a 1.68. So it is a heavier game. Probably, I don't know. Where do you see? Would this still be a gateway game? What's your experience of this, Anthony?
No, I don't think so.
I agree. Good.
I think it's like a single step beyond that. But
yeah.
The mechanics in terms of like how you pull the cards and like how the tableau, not the tableau, but like the center tableau of like how you're drafting them,
yes,
is a little much for somebody who doesn't play games at all.
Yes,
like I played this game with my kids and they're just like, sure, fine, this is great, but it's not complex, but it has a little bit more overhead, and there are like 2 or 3 mechanics going on here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, certainly the tableau set up where you're going to be drawing cards from. There's bonus cards in there. There are cards that generate resources that you're going to need in order to be able to play the particular bonus cards. And then when you pick up cards, you have to pick up them, orthogonally to each other. So there's a lot of little challenges in that game. And then there's different point scoring things. So there's a couple of balls to kind of juggle when you're playing the game.
Mm.
That you need to kind of get a sense of that, because now when you get into Point Galaxy, which is on BGG a 1.95. So this is considered by the community a little bit heavier. And generally the reason why is it takes Point City and it ups it a little bit as far as complexity is concerned, as far as how are you scoring? Because in this game, I think the main thing that they did here is they wanted you to have multiple ways to score points. Now, basically, you're putting together galaxies. So if you remember way back to Point Salad, you had this kind of plate image with vegetables on it that gave you pluses or minuses. You put that on in your personal tableau, and then based upon those vegetables, you'll score points or, again, negative points. Very similar here. You have suns that they're center of your galaxy, and they also have victory point conditions that they're going to score. Now, no negatives here. They're all positives, but you have to meet specific conditions in order to be able to score the points. And that is actually, in fact, very challenging. Once you have the suns up there, what you're going to build below it is the different planets in that solar system. The additional challenge here is you have to be able to, when you place the first card out there, the first planet out there, you're going to make a decision as you continue to play cards there. Is it going to be ascending or descending from that specific number of planet that you place out there? So the numbers run 1 through 7. So if you place a 3 out there, and then the next planet you put is a 2 out there on top of the 3, the only planet that you could possibly put there would be a 1 to follow. Now, there are wormholes, which is kind of an interesting mechanic. There are wormhole cards that you can play in that solar system that will now allow you to restart the ascending or descending numbers. So it kind of gives you a little way to reboot. Beyond that, there are also moon cards that have to, find a place within your tableau because they have to match certain planets. And then I think finally the only thing that really matters is some of these cards are going to have rocket ships on them. And when you have rocket ships explicitly here, what that's going to allow you to do is pick up the rocket ship bonuses. So Anthony, remember Point City? They have those particular like end game bonuses. Yeah. Well, that's the same thing here. There's just little rocket ship shaped kind of bonuses. Now, all of that being said, it is a very fun, engaging game, and it plays very similar in a way to Point Salad, where you're going to have stacks of cards. They're going to create a tableau, and as you pull cards, the top cards that are in the stacks flip over and repopulate the tableau. You're going to continue to pick cards until the game comes to the end because the cards have run out. Again, just like Point Salad. Now, here's the challenging part. That's not like Point Salad. There's a lot of ways to score points, which is also kind of like generally a Point Salad, not the game, but the general kind of mechanic kind of feel is you should score a lot of points for doing a lot of things. That's what's really fun about it. Ask Stefan Feld, he knows. So you can score points from the suns. You can score points from the unique numbered planets. And remember I mentioned it's like 1 through 7. So the more different numbers you have in a particular solar system, the more points you're going to score. You can score points from moons. You could also score points from cards that have research on them, different research nodules on them. And then again, we talked about the bonus points that are shaped like rocket ships. And finally, one of the things I did not mention, because it's not a big deal, but it does come into play, is there are asteroid cards. Asteroid cards tuck into your particular solar system. And again, it's whoever has the majority of asteroid cards scores 10. Second place gets 6, and the final place gets 2. So you could shoot for that, but it only going to score you 10 points, I guess, at the end. So the scoring here and the things that you have to consider is more complex. So it's a little more like Point City, because Point City has a lot more things you have to contemplate as you're building. So Point Salad is like, I need tomatoes, tomato, right? Point Galaxy is like, I need a blue planet because it matches my sun. I can't find a blue planet. That starts to become an issue. Okay, what do I do? All right, well, maybe I should just make sure I have the right enough different numbers. Okay, maybe I'll throw a moon in there. So at the end of the game, you've scored points. Now, the tableau in front of you really determines how many points you're going to score because other people will take cards. You can get a sense of like, hey, they're going for pink planets. I'm going for pink planets. I'm going to have a bad time here.
Right.
But nonetheless, you can score points from a lot of different things. I don't feel like this game is as sharp with or sleek with its gameplay. Okay. Like Point Salad is Point Salad, right?
Yeah,
it's bam, bam, bam. It's light. It's fast. It's intuitive. You play Point City, it's a little more contemplative, right? Like, oh, I want to build enough of this icon in order to be able to score these things later. It's difficult on some level. Point Galaxy kind of combines both of them. It's a little bit heavier. It doesn't need to be. It's just, again, it's more cognitive load. You're juggling more things as the kind of the game goes on. Of, am I scoring enough of this, that, and the other? You can't possibly take a look at everyone's tableau and easily calculate where they're at because, again, there's so many different scoring options here.
Right.
So Point Galaxy for me gets a solid play. I I enjoyed this. I like this theme the best out of the 3 themes. It really gives a little bit more than like Point City is fine, but it's also very generic. It almost looks like Farmville from like the early 2000s. Whereas Point Galaxy looks more modern, more fun, more dynamic. You're sticking moons in there. There's asteroids there. There's different planets there. There's bonus goals there. But there is a lot more to consider. And I don't know if the consideration is as much fun as the other two, because again, the tableau that you're pulling from really so much determines what you can do. Now, obviously, you get lucky sometimes. You can put certain things out, certain numbers come out there. It's not bad. I have nothing bad to say about it, honestly, other than just you're going to be juggling a little bit more. And I don't know if the juggle is worth as much as Point City's juggle is. And it again, Point Salad's its own thing. And again, I think it kind of like, so for me, again, Point Salad's a buy, Point City's a buy, a little bit less, but like it's a buy. Point Galaxy's a solid play. Again, I might almost buy it just because it's so relatively inexpensive and it kind of fits with the 3 games. And if you have a game group, these 3 games would really be good because you can kind of get a sense of like between like a 1.0 and a 2.0, like where the weight is for that group. Like we can play, this group can handle this. This group can handle that, So
yeah.
Point Galaxy, good game.
Cool. That's good to hear. I like the other 2. I was looking at picking this one up, and I'm like, is it different enough and or good enough? And it's good to hear that it is.
It's different enough and it's good enough. And doggone it, I liked it.
Love it. Great.
All right. Well, quick up. We got another quick review here for you because we got a chance to play another game. And again, weirdly enough, kind of plays in very similar fashion to Point Galaxy. This is Up or Down? ? This was a review copy that we received from Capstone Games. And this game is from very famous game designers, Michael Kiesling and Wolfgang Kramer. And it's a really nice production here. It's just beautiful little box. And if you haven't kind of guessed, and you might not have, it's about elevators. So, remember how we always talk about there's a game for everything?
Right.
This is a game about elevators.
Love it.
And so add that to your list when someone comes up to you and goes, no, but is there a game that's just elevators? Nothing beyond, nothing about that city building or how, nope, just the elevator. This is games about just elevators.
Great.
So much so that basically you get, it's a very large deck. It's a deck of 126 cards, numbering from 1 to 126. The really cool element here and the artwork here is kind of fun because basically what it does is the artwork shows you a very incredibly subtle progression of people getting on an elevator, going down to the final floor, and then getting out of the elevator. So that being said, it's not very dynamic because it's 126 cards and it takes a lot to tell that story. But basically, every card in the game, and this game's only cards, is an elevator, people in the elevator with the doors closing at different, times, and then a number. And this is where the game comes in. So the game itself, you can build what we lovingly called shafts, right? You can build 3 elevators, or I shouldn't even say build elevators because that kind of denotes that there's actually building going on. Basically, there's cards in a circle, and in the 6 cards in the circle, on your turn, you are going to play a card from your hand somewhere in that circle. Think like a clock. Now, that number of card that you play has to be able to fit with the numbers around the circle. So, and again, these are random cards. So you could have 10, 20, 35, 70, 90. So then you take your card and you find where in that space it goes. You play the card there. And between those 2 cards, you pick one of those 2 cards. You take one of those 2 cards, you add it to your shaft tableau here, and you create 3 different elevators. Now, just like we talked about Point Galaxy, when you play your second card, you have now made a decision whether it's ascending or descending.
Mm-hmm.
So based upon the card, you're taking somewhat of a chance because depending on the number of players and what everybody else has in their own hands, you may not get access to all the cards at all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I put a 41 down and I find another card that's, there's a 20 out there. I could play that, but if I play the 20 on the 41, that's going to be really limiting to me as far as scoring points at the end of the game. Because basically at the end of the game, if you want to score points, hopefully a lot of points, the most of a color in a particular shaft, so if you have, like, say, 3 pink cards, times the number of cards in that shaft. So let's say that shaft had 5 cards. That scores you 15 points, right? So you want to keep an eye out for the right color to put in that particular elevator. And you also want to have the numbers, as many cards in that particular shaft as possible. So as the game goes on, you kind of get shafted a little bit because what happens is the tableau, that round area where you're going to place cards into to pick up other cards, is going to sometimes gets to a point where you can't place a particular card just because it doesn't fit. Then you have to take that shaft, that elevator, and discard the whole elevator. All that work gets discarded. And now you have to start or can start again. So at some point, it may not be a bad thing for that to happen earlier than later. When it happens later, it's incredibly disruptive. And then once the cards run out, you run out of the cards in your hand, you just basically score your 3 elevators, and that's your total points, and that's the entire game of Up or Down. So I was, extremely interested in this game because Michael Kiesling and Wolfgang Kramer, like, those are, like, serious game designers, man. The game itself is kind of, I don't know, it's there. We had a lot of fun making jokes about the game. The game itself is, again, it's you're kind of stuck. You have those your cards in your hand, and you have to play them to the tableau, so you don't have a lot of choices to make. And there's not any other dynamics in the game other than, like, how do I start this going up or down? And once I've made that decision, try to get the most of the color, try to get the most of the card in the thing, and so forth and so on with the other, your total of 3 shafts in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why they called it Up or Down, ? The question mark I have about this is, while I get it and while I understand why, I think they should just called it Shafted or something else. I think Up or Down ? Is not going to be a title that's really going to get people to purchase the game. I think the artwork, while is very good, because it's not incredibly dynamic, becomes very repetitive and boring. Because again, you're not going to see that really length of the elevator from, like, 1 to 126. You're just not going to see it.
Right.
So I would have really liked to have some additional mechanic to it, or something really unique or fun about the artwork. Maybe it could have been a mystery that solves at the very end. Maybe it could have been a legacy game that, like, oh, now you figured out the mystery that from the, like, if you examine the cards enough, there's something else there. It's basically a very quick filler game. Again, when you have to discard a whole thing, you kind of feel bad about it, and sometimes you might have to do it more than once, which also feels kind of bad. And then again, obviously, a lot of luck-driven situations occur. Like, oh, that's the right card. It allows me to continue that tableau. That shaft down there. So for Up and Down ? It's really hard. I mean, it's a filler, so I'm not mad about it. But also, I can't recommend it as a purchase. Can I recommend it as a play? I mean, I can only recommend this as a play at the lightest. I mean, it's almost a dodge, honestly. I don't. No, you know what? I'm going to dodge it, Anthony. I'm gonna dodge it.
He's going down.
I played the cards that way, so I have to go down here. I had to continue with that particular shaft. So Up or Down ? Unfortunately, get shafted because it's just like it's barely fine. And if I have to see you at a game night and you're like, let's play something. I'm not going to this. Again, I just talked about Point Galaxy that has that similar mechanic, but more. I think it needed a little bit more. I think it just needed something else just to kind of engage, whether it's the artwork or another mechanic or some other kind of scoring situation. It's cute. It's great designers. It's a nice little production, but it just misses the mark, unfortunately.
Yeah, sounds like it.
All right, everyone. So let's get on to our feature review. Our feature review this week, of course, we're going to take a quick look at the Origins Game Fair Award nominations. This is the big awards for GAMA, the trade association, and they recognize a lot of the great games that are out there that happen out there in the world, and we want to talk about them because these are typically awesome games developed and created by awesome people, and you know what? You should probably play them because they're also awesome. There's a lot of awesomeness going on here.
All the awesome.
Yes. So, Anthony, we got a bunch of different categories. I'll let you run through the games, but let's just run off the categories that we probably won't get too in depth for. Because again, there's a lot of games, there's a lot of categories. Let me let you take it because you know what we need to do. Do the things, Anthony.
Yeah. So, okay, there are 12 categories for the Origins Awards.
Yeah.
Now, the thing we have to remember is that this is the trade industry for gaming.
Yes.
All types of tabletop gaming.
All of them.
All of them. So accessories, cardboard, miniatures, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So the stuff that we like to talk about is the first 5 categories. And hey, it is the first 5.
It's true. We do like the other ones. We don't want to say anything bad about them.
No. We just don't know anything about them.
To be fair, you and I have played a miniature game from time to time. You do paint.
I do. I love miniatures. I own thousands of them.
Same. And we have been known to role play.
We have been known to role play. The problem with like the awards that are given out every year is that it's like new role playing games. And
yes.
I'm like, that's just not our wheelhouse. Like if we had Will on, maybe he could talk to that.
True.
I look through this list and I know one of them.
Yes.
And I purchased it for a lot of money, and so that's my role playing game of the year.
It's the Cosmere one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Cosmere one. Yeah. Which is honestly, I don't know enough. I shouldn't even say this. I was about to say it's probably going to win, but I'm like, I don't actually know enough about the other games.
Sure.
But it made so much money.
Yeah. So when we talk about lists of things and things that are in a list, we like to talk about the things in the list that we know about.
Yeah. So like that's not to say that these are not important.
No, they're very important.
They're just not in our wheelhouse. So very quickly run through what they are. Constructible fixed product. That is like
such an industry name.
Yeah, I know, right? So that's like commander decks for Magic, right? Or the equivalent, like starter decks, pre-constructed decks for a TCG or something.
Yeah.
Case in point, there are 2 Magic commander decks on the list. The Eternity's commander decks and the Avatar Last Airbender decks. But there's some other stuff in there too. Like Compile Main 2 is more of a traditional game. It is constructed, but it's not like a TCG.
Sure.
But then you have like Riftbound, Gwent.
Riftbound's new. We talked about Riftbound previously on the podcast. Right. Mm-hmm.
So it's some interesting stuff in there. Gundam card game starter. Yeah. Gundam.
Sure.
All in on the Gundam.
Love them.
But yeah, so that's all those. Constructible randomized product. So this is your classic just booster packs, booster boxes.
Mm-hmm.
So we got some more Gundam. We got Sorcery, which has been around for a bit. Magic is on here twice with Edge of Eternities and Final Fantasy.
Sure.
2 of their like 11 sets that came out last year. Riftbound Origins, Universe's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And there's actually a Ninja Turtle set that just came out for Magic too. So see if that makes the list next year.
I loved Ninja Turtles back in the day, even as a kid. But I have to say, despite my love for it, it's amazing that it is this big and this the longevity behind it. I can't. I would have lost.
It's bananas.
It's crazy.
I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and the hosts were like, their argument was, Ninja Turtles is not the biggest IP in the world for anybody, and hasn't been since 1991.
Sure.
However, nobody dislikes them. Everybody's like, yeah, the Turtles are all right.
Oh, that's funny.
Turtles are all right. Which is why they don't go away, because no one has a problem with it.
So funny. I mean, I have the original the comics, and it was just like it was a parody. It was a joke.
Yeah, it was like Daredevil parody, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And there's just basically a one issue where they kind of wrap everything up too in that same issue.
I know. I remember when I realized what that was, and then I was like, "How did that turn into the show I was obsessed with when I was 6?"
Sure,
Like,
it's a thing, man.
that IP has evolved a dozen different ways.
Jeez, it's mutated. It's a
Yeah.
secret of the use. Secret of the
Love
use,
it.
man.
It's been oozed up. All right, so we got miniature games. There's a new version of Blood Bullets in here. There's a cyberpunk game, Malediction, which Will and I were poking around at PAX for a bit. Malediction's tough because it's like 3D printed, so you have to have those resources. Malifaux has a new edition, Warzone Eternal, Warhammer Quest. So, some of the classics and a few new ones in there. Paint and Hobby Accessories is a mishmash of paint sets and brushes and wet palettes and lots of cool stuff. Things that I find awesome, but could not tell you for the life of me what's good or not. It's not like my area of expertise. They have miniatures, just miniatures by themselves, a category. So you have, and some of these are game based, and some are not. So you have like the I Am No Jedi dual pack from Atomic Mass Games, which is Ahsoka versus Darth Vader, and you can play them in Shatterpoint, but you can also just paint them. The Cosmere RPG Stormlight miniature set, which I have. Those are some pretty solid miniatures. Gotta love those. Stuff for Sword and Sorcery, Age of Sigmar, 40K, Infinity, lots of good stuff there. Role-playing games. I mentioned Cosmere RPG Stormlight starter set. I have that. It's pretty cool. There's a new edition of Starfinder came last year. The Warhammer The Old World Player's Guide, Daggerheart, Cthulhu Bay, Chew the role-playing game. Good stuff there. And then role-playing supplements. So just kind of like the individual supplements or adventures that you can add on. So
Gotcha.
Those are all areas that if you know things about those, you should go check out the lists. And it'll be in the show notes. But we are not the guys to tell you about them. So.
Yeah, Board Game Wire has an article on it that did a very good job. In fact, it did such a good job that I looked for the original list of nominees from Origins, could not find them.
Oh, no, every year. No, it's
every year
impossible.
it's the same thing. It's like, thank goodness for these independent publishers and designers and reporters and stuff like this. It's just like, otherwise we would never know until last minute.
Yeah, my favorite every year is when like the Dice Tower announces their winners, and it takes like a week and a half to find the list anywhere. Like, just put it on your website. What are you doing?
Tell you people.
They're like, no, go watch the 4-hour video. I'm like, not going to do it, buddy.
No, ain't got time for that.
No. All right, so let's get into the board game categories. There are 5 of them, and 10 games each. So we're obviously not going to deep dive on any of these. But we've got cooperative solo game as the opening category. I don't love that they jam these together, because almost half these games are legit standalone solo games.
Yes.
And then the other half are co-op games that you can play solo, which is fine, but it's different things. They're designed differently.
We've covered Origin for all of the years that we've been around, and like I have the same problem with this, and I've talked about this in many different situations, not just with the Origin Awards, but like co-op games and solo games should be different because we should respect the designer here. I'm sorry. I don't like that.
Yeah. No, same.
Yeah.
I was like skimming through it. I'm like, Hercules and the 12 Labors. That's a solo game. Oh, this is solo games. Okay. Well, come on, guys.
Yeah.
There's no co-op vibe to that. That's not what you're doing.
What was the year? I can't remember, but there was one year where Gamma did, or I should say Origin Game Award did like party game, family game, and then there was another like they squeezed everything into one category, and it was like weird family games / Cards Against Humanity, like filthy stuff, and then like some random other kind of category, which is like, it was a weird mix.
Yeah,
I get it, but cooperative like means other person. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I see what you're doing there, and everything does fit, but
yeah, you could just say 1 or 2 player games. I guess no, because cooperative could be more than just.
Yeah, I don't know. So, anyhow, let's run through them.
Yes, go for it.
We've got Animal Rescue Team, which is Matt Leacock and Lisa Tao played as E-Games.
So that at PAX.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
Play to Z, yeah.
Castle Raisers, Erwin Lemunos and Anthony Perron.
I like the production here. Haven't played the game, haven't seen it in person, but production looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very pretty, very bright.
Yes.
All right. Core of Discovery. We talked about this for our own awards at the end of the year.
Yep.
Jake Cormier and Sinfin Lim.
Very cool game.
Hercules and the 12 Labors, the aforementioned solo-only game about Hercules and his 12 Labors from Tyler J. Brown. It's good. It's a little light. It's very, very pretty. Very high production values.
Yeah, sorry at PAX as well.
Yeah. Here Lies. Jasper Beatrix, Jacob Meyer, Bobby West. So this is a deduction style cooperative mystery game. So think like Sherlock Holmes, but with a dry erase marker.
Which he was well known for at the time.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Horrified has its D&D set that came out last year. So
yeah,
like the movie monsters, but now we have D&D monsters from Peter Lee, Ravensburger.
Sure.
Kinfire Council, which is a Kevin Wilson game, but just one of those big, larger ones, more politics based, which is interesting.
Yes.
Lord of the Rings: Fate of the Fellowship, Matt Leacock's big Z-Man release from last year. Unstoppable from Renegade Game Studios. This is another solo game. It's literally in the Solo Heroes series, so it's just solo from John D. Clare.
Yep.
And then Vantage from Jamie Stegmaier, which might as well be a solo game. So,
yeah, best
from everything I've heard.
Best at one, maybe two, but best at one for sure.
Yeah. There's some interesting stuff in here, like Lord of the Rings: Fate of the Fellowship. Solid game. Core Discovery we talked about, really, really good.
Yeah.
Unstoppable is really interesting, and I think they're going to make more of it because it's a good, solid base system. And obviously, people really like Vantage. I feel like Vantage will probably win, but
yeah, this is where I don't like having the categories mixed, because I don't. How do you compare a co-op to a solo?
No,
it's not really a fair comparison. And
a solo game would never win this category. I don't see how it could. It would have to be really, really good.
Sure.
Which they're out there, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, again, there's just so many more people who get to play it and get to rate it and talk about it and stuff like that. And yeah.
And some of the best solo games released every year are competitive games. So there'll be 1 to 4 players, but the solo mode is really good, and that it wouldn't get recognized in a category like this.
Plus, these are all more on the lighter, medium size. Sure. Like some of the really great solo games are heavier.
Yeah.
Because they want to keep you involved in an experience instead of just like, you played a bunch of cards into a tableau, you did a thing. You're like, all right.
Yeah, pretty much. So I don't know. I don't think it's a bad list. I think it's just a funky list. But
no, it's not a bad list. It's not a bad list at all. I mean, I think these are all great games. I just think it kind of works against itself, because how do you judge that? Because a solo game is such a unique experience, and a co-op game is such a different type of experience from that. I think it's apples and oranges. Like, yeah, they're fruit, but it's really different. It's just it's kind of hard here. I would feel bad. I would feel bad like picking a co-op game and not, like you said, like not recognizing these solo games for what they are.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah, we'll see if they ever change that. Moving on to the gateway games, and this I love that they call it gateway, because then we get to judge whether the game is a gateway game or not. Which I have thoughts on a couple of these.
Same.
A Place for All My Books. Alex Cutler and Michael Mihilsik from Smirk and Dagger. Great game. Love this game. I would not mark this as a gateway game. I think it's got a little bit too much going on, especially the spatial element of the bookshelves. I think that would break a lot of people's brains.
Agreed.
So the action selection, once you go out and do stuff, that's really simple. But when you bring all your stuff back, no, I don't think so.
Nope.
Above and Below Haunted from Ryan Lockett, Red Raven Games. I don't know these games, so
I know these games, and it's I wouldn't classify this. I mean, he has other games that are more gateway centric. This is not one of those.
Yeah. Everdell Duo, James Wilson, Clarissa Wilson, Tycoon Games. Everdell itself is not a gateway game.
No.
There is a children's version of it, which is almost gateway, but still had a little bit of complexity to it. I don't see how the 2-player version would be. But I haven't played it, so I can't say for sure.
I'm really excited about this, but I can't imagine this being a gateway game, honestly.
No, I don't think so. Flamecraft Duels. I'm okay with this one being here. I've played this a few times with my daughter.
Sure.
It's very simple. Like, it's Flamecraft itself is borderline gateway. This is even simpler version of that.
Okay.
It's just pattern matching and set creation.
Sure. Gotcha.
Pergola from Rebel Studio. This is the Plants and Flowers game.
Yep. Froggies. Yep.
Yeah. This is probably again a little on the heavy side.
Yeah. It's just again the categories we're talking about here, right? There's a light strategy game and a heavy strategy game. I think you should have switched. I think the gateway game should have just been light strategy game, because I think that would be a more acceptable moniker here instead of gateway game. Because I think gateway game, I think you do yourself a disservice. Because this game is over 2.0 on BGG as far as weight's concerned, and that's not a gateway game. I'm sorry. It's
No, yeah. Whenever someone says gateway, I'm like, could I bring this to my classroom with adults, like 19-year-old kids? Yes, but adults who haven't played games, and the answer to most of these is no. So
it's true.
Railroad Tiles from Horrible Guild. I think this one's okay here. It's got a little bit of funkiness in terms of the drafting, but at the end of the day, it's pick a tile, place a tile.
Sure.
So it's pretty straightforward in that regard.
Gotcha.
Tacta from Jason Tremblay and the Op. This is a just very abstract looking card game. Mm-hmm. So I think anytime you boil the mechanics down that simple, then sure. Toy Battle we've talked about a bunch. This is pretty accessible. It's pretty simple. Paolo Mori, Alessandro Zucchini. So I'm okay with that one being on the list. And then Wine Cellar is a bidding game.
Yeah.
Which can be a gateway game for sure. Like, this is fairly straightforward. You're bidding on wine. But I haven't had a chance to play it myself.
Same.
All right, moving on to the party games. This is that section where I'm like, I got nothing. I'm like looking over the list, like, have I played any of these? The answer is probably no. So you just interrupt me if you've played one, and we'll pause.
Well, you need a full party to enjoy these games as well, which I also think is funny, because sometimes you have some of these party games kind of like leaking over. Like, what is, again, I'm not going to get philosophical here with everyone here, because we got to wrap the podcast up at some point. But like, what's a party game? Like, every game is like a party, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, as long as it's not solo, then it's a party. I guess you could have a party by yourself. Like, that's also a party. Yeah. So it's like, it's weird when they say these games are party games. Like, I don't understand that. Like, that's never been a time there's never been a game night where someone's like, hey, let's, at a game night I'm talking about, not at someone's house. Hey, let's play a party game instead of a board game. It's like, I don't know what that is. Like, why? I don't know. Like, change the category, people. I get it. It's a marketable category, but still.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
23 Knives.
Sure.
Tyler Brown from Play to Z. No? Nothing?
Here's my problem. Party games need to be gateway games at the very least.
Yeah, that is true.
This is a little bit heavier than a gateway game, so that would be my one caveat. Like, it's got to be something that's accessible for a large group of people, that you do not have to go into detailed explanation, because then the party stops.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That is a good point.
Thank you.
All right, we got Alibis.
This is a party game. Definitely.
Looks like it.
Mm-hmm.
Brick Like This is some Legos, so that's got to be a party game, right?
It's 100% a party game.
You're building stuff with Legos to match the cards. That's great.
It's fine. We're okay with that.
Yeah, I love Legos. Dice Words just sounds like a party game.
Yeah, it's
making words, right?
Yeah, I got a chance to see this at the Cosmo booth over at PAX Unplugged, and got to meet the designer ever so briefly. So, very simple, straightforward, very purposely limited kind of options as far as what you could build as far as words are concerned. So,
right,
and a very cute production. So I could see this as a party game for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How many? What? Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped Hot Streak, the one that's probably going to win the category.
Yeah.
the only one in here that I know. Hot Streak, racing mascots, betting. We talked about this at the end of the year quite a bit.
Yeah, I sort of played it long on tabletop, and people are pretty happy and excited about it, which is weird because the board game and the production itself does not seem to like lend itself to like
No, yeah, it's funny.
award winning on any level. But again, the fun is in the humanness of the game, so sure, why
Yeah.
not?
Exactly.
John Perry knows what he's doing, so let's just let him do the thing.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
All right, we have Matt Fantastic's How Many What? It's a fill in the blank game, which is definitely a party game, but it's also there's a million of these.
By definition, if the game is basically you get a dry erase marker and a board, and you have to write things, and people vote on things, yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a new version of Flux, Mystery Flux. So y'all play as detectives, but it's Flux. So
It's is Flux the ultimate party game? I don't know. Like,
I don't know, but you have to have fun, right? Doesn't it have to be fun?
I find the most fun for me for Flux is the collecting. Like, if it's a theme I love, then I love having that Flux game because it's just like it's got all the cards. I know all the jokes. Like, it's that kind of thing. But like in the plane of Flux, I don't. Let me put it this way: I would never play a Flux game at a party. Never.
Yeah. No.
Never. Like, it's not super complex, but you're changing the rules constantly, and people hate that. So
yeah,
like,
that's true.
you have to, when you play Flux, you have to find a group that loves the theming of it so very much that they're willing to take the chaos and enjoy the game. Or people know Flux and they know what they're getting into coming into it.
Fair enough.
Party game that is not a thing. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Outfox the Fox from Jeff Gristenwaite.
Sure.
It's a game about making top 5 lists, but also like hidden information related to those lists.
Fantastic. Definitely party game. I haven't played it, but yeah, want to.
Yeah. Person do thing. I have this actually.
Sounds like our podcast.
Right. This is one where you're trying to describe a target word using a small number of very basic words.
Yeah.
It is on my curriculum to use in my class this semester. I haven't gotten to it yet. But it is interesting looking. Picked it up at PAX.
Yeah, and in fact, if you go to person dot or I should say persondothing.com, you can actually play an online version of it for free.
Oh, cool. That's great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's clever. It's I love these little communication games. And then Red Letter, Yellow Letter is a game about saying words.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah, this was another one they had at PAX that we took a look at.
Yep.
So you're trying to yell out the word that matches the restrictions on the table, which is like a lot of games, but it's got a really cool vibe to it.
Sure.
All right, so those are party games.
Party on.
I knew 2 of them. That's pretty good. 2 out of 10.
That's more than usual.
Yeah, I'm way up there. All right, heavy strategy games. This is our wheelhouse.
Sure.
So we have Crafting the Cosmos, David Gordon, Office Dog Games.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an interesting one. I
saw this, I want to say, oh man, not last year, the year before at PAX Unplugged. They were showing a demo of the game. I guess like the first production copy.
Mm-hmm.
Really funky looking. Did not get a chance to play it, but very funky, outer spacey, fluorescent color kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's definitely got an interesting visual vibe.
Yeah.
Cyclades Legendary Edition.
Epic.
Yeah, I mean it's an old game coming back. Shouldn't be on the list, but it looks good.
They keep doing this, man.
I know. I'm just like, most of these games are new games. That one's not a new game. So.
Yeah, I mean the rules are somewhat different, but again, it's like TI4 kind of situation.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's just like, I've played this before. So
yeah.
Also, please look, because our audience is brilliant and super smart and plays very heavy games. What the words here are referring to as heavy kind of games, they're below a 3. So
some of them are higher, heavier.
All right.
No, like the next one's pretty decently heavy, and there's a couple later that are.
Yeah. All right.
There are only like 100 games that are over a 4.1
well,
in the world.
No, I just want to kind of clarify the fact that heavy strategy games we're not talking splatters and
right
18 double X's and stuff like that.
No. Yeah, no one ever is. Just us.
Just us, I guess.
Yeah. Galactic Cruise. There you go. The least biggest physical box on the list here.
Yeah. I think it's overstated how heavy it is. I think it's much more accessible than people are giving it credit for.
Yeah.
But
they went for the Lacerda profile, and that's what people see.
That's what it is. Yeah, but it's much more accessible. If you're afraid to play it, do not be afraid to play it. It's not that complex. You can handle it. I believe in you.
You could do it.
I do believe in them.
All right, Luthier, Mix of Violins.
Yeah, I think the production, again, this is something that's playable. I think the production is just like super next level. So people are just like, like, no, this is fine. You can handle this. You're good. Because again, these games, obviously, accessible, meant to be as such.
Sure. Molly House,
yes.
Joe Kelly and Cole Worley. This game is not that complicated. The complexity, like any game that Cole Worley works on, comes out in the execution.
Yes.
It's fairly straightforward what you're trying to do. It's just trying to manipulate the situation on the board based on the cards that come out. So, and thematically incredibly unique. So, just a great game all around.
Yeah, definitely.
We do have a Lacerda on the list. Speakeasy.
He's back.
Yeah. It's not a theme for me, but by all accounts, it's a pretty good game. So I'm happy that he's got a nice solid one out this year.
Same.
Star Trek Captain's Chair. This is a heavy game. This was my favorite game from last year. Still waiting on the expansions from WizKids. I don't know what they're doing. Like, they're delayed on almost everything by like a year right now.
Crazy.
How are they even making money? Everything's out of stock.
Yeah.
But it's just a fantastic game. It's a reimplementation of Imperium, but like much better in many ways. T-Witches from Manny Vega. I don't know this one.
Yeah, I've seen it in passing, but I have not played it, so can't speak to it. But obviously, it doesn't look heavy, but certainly that has always been deceiving us in a lot of games,
right?
But I would love to play this because it looks adorable.
The Anarchy, which I reviewed early in the year. This is a flip and right style sprawling epic game. It is like on the heavier end for a game like that.
Sure.
And I liked it quite a bit.
Awesome.
And then Xenology, last one here from Dan Manfredini.
New to me. I haven't seen this before.
No, like, all the Play to Z games that came out last year seem to be on this list. So
sure.
it's like Zev knows people. But it's don't know anything else about it. It's about aliens.
There you go. And the study thereof.
Exactly. All right. Lastly, light strategy games. So if the heavies are not quite as heavy as you think, the lights are lighter than you think. There's definitely some overlap here with what the gateway games are. Sure. So we have Three Witches from All Play, Corey Young. This is a re-implementation of a game from Japan. Trick-taking game.
Yeah.
Diadems from Ludo Liminal.
Yeah, this is something we've talked about this I think way back when we've talked about this. I wonder, it was a Kickstarter? It was crowdfunded for sure, I believe.
Yeah, it was on Kickstarter.
Yeah, we talked about this way back when.
Yeah, it's a tile placement, like, pattern making game.
Yep. And it's actually real science too, which is kind of amazing if you take a look into it. So.
Yeah, I love when it's actual science. And you're like, oh wait, they're teaching me things.
Yeah, it's about algae colonies.
Ah, weird.
I remember it was like, what? And I watched the whole video about what they actually are. And this is like, when you look at them under a microscope, this is the shapes that they kind of look like.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
All right. Finspan. You all know this. It's Wingspan with fish.
And sometimes wings. I don't know.
Yeah, the cover is a fish with wings. I'm like, a little on the nose, but I get it.
We're good. Keep going.
Yep. Rowdy Partners. This is the wrestling game from Capstone. It's my son and I sat through a demo of this, and like, I looked at him and was like, "Do you want to play it?" And he just like looked at me. He's like, "No, I do not." And got up and walked away. I don't know if the game's good or not. I'm always like the flat look on his face of, "No, I do not."
Which is funny because it's the artwork is meant to like just rile you up kind of thing. So
right, but it's a trick taking game. It's not actually like a combat game. So it looks like you're going to be fighting, but it's like you're playing tricks.
Yeah, gotcha.
Which Sanctuary. the kind of later reimplementation of Arc Nova.
Mm-hmm.
This feels on the heavier end for light.
This is weird for it to be under light.
Yeah, it's hovering around that 3 mark. It's like a 2.9 or 2.8. So it's in a weird category.
Yeah, it shouldn't. I don't think it should be here. There's just way too much iconography for someone to swallow, as far as that's concerned.
For sure, yeah. One I do like here, though, is Star Wars Battle of Hoth.
Yeah, buddy.
This is Memoir 44, but Star Wars. And it's not only easy to teach and learn, it is short and relatively inexpensive. Yes. So just good stuff all around here.
Oh, yeah, this is definitely perfect.
Yeah. Tag Team from Scorpion Mask. So the arcade fighting 2-on-2 style game. It's 2 players, but you each have 2 characters.
Nice.
So kind of like the marble game, but there's no marbles.
Aw.
I know. So what are we even doing here? What's the point of this?
So I could have this game or the $200 game with the marbles.
That's true. This game costs $25. So I think
I might have to pick this up. It comes with all the characters too, by the way.
So. Yeah, it does. Yeah, you're not buying them separate. That's funny. Which one do you want? Well, I know which one I can afford.
That's true. That's probably the better answer to that.
Yeah. Tea Garden, you reviewed this.
I did. It's fine. It's Tomas Holek, and I believe an expansion has already been announced.
Oh, cool.
So it desperately needs an expansion, like painfully needs an expansion. So I'm really excited that the expansion will make things better. It's cool. Yeah, there's an expansion coming out. So when that comes out, then play that with the expansion, because I think it'll move it up to like a solid hardcore play.
Cool. Yeah, mm-hmm. I will do that.
Yep.
All right. We have Time Lancers from Party Tales. I do not know this one.
We talked about this, and I want to try to go through it a little bit. I'm not going to go through it, but like, I believe like this was crowdfunded forever ago, or we talked about it forever ago. Like this has been around for, I'm talking years.
Yeah, that's true. It was on Kickstarter. That's a good call.
2023 it won some sort of award from somebody, but I remember this being like a very ambitious project, and it was just so many years ago. So I am surprised it's here now, I guess.
The Kickstarter tutorials they're 3 years old.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
I remember the look of it. Like it's got a very distinct look with the little bust of the characters on the board. So yeah, I don't know anything else about it. I remember we talked about way back in the day. If you want to hear more about this as a full preview, we talked about it at some point.
Yeah.
I don't remember when, but obviously it was several years ago.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then the last one on the list here is Winter Rabbit. This is another crowdfunded game, semi-cooperative worker placement game. But the cool thing about this one is like it takes place in traditional Cherokee animal stories, and you take on the role of one of the animals.
Oh, nice.
So you're kind of working through this story and trying to survive the winter because it's cold.
I love that.
It's a cold winter. So it looks pretty, but like thematically too, it's doing something interesting with communication that you don't always see in a game. So
yeah, semi-co-op worker placement. What the interesting thing here, Anthony, is am I correct in thinking and saying that we don't have any duplicates between the categories?
I don't think we do. Yeah, right? They didn't double nominate anything.
That's okay. I mean, I'm not mad about that, but also,
yeah. I guess the way the categories are laid out, there aren't a lot of potential overlaps. They're all like,
well, the co-op one. I was just thinking about
co-op games. Yeah, co-op games could be in the other categories for sure.
And again, party games. What's a party game? But that's fine. We won't talk about that more.
Whatever.
Anytime you play a game, it's a party. Anytime you don't have a game, it's not a party. So there.
I keep going to this game night and they keep pulling out Catan, and that's not a party.
Oh no!
Every time I get there a little early because of when I can get the bus, and then somebody early on's like Catan, looking around trying to find people, and every time I'm like, I don't like Catan. I'm sorry.
That's so funny.
I just need to bring a sign with me. I don't like Catan. Please stop asking me if I want to play Catan.
I bet you there's shirts out there right now. You could pick up a shirt.
Right. Because I'm not even a hater. I'm just like, I prefer not to play this. That's all. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not like you're asking me to play Monopoly. I'm like, I don't hate it. I have 3 hours. I don't want to spend 2.5 of it playing Catan.
Yeah, Catan's also hard too because there's negotiation, and unless you have the right crowd for the negotiation, you could have a bad time, because I've had bad times playing Catan, and again, no fault of the game. It's just the people that play and are like, I don't want to trade, or I will trade everything for somebody with, again, no rhyme or reason. So
yeah.
You're just like, can you stop giving them the things that'll win? Or again, I'm not trading. Little Head, somebody was like, I'm not trading. I have cornered the market. I'm like, that's not Catan. Like, that's not a way to play a game.
You're playing a different game, buddy.
And again, we've talked about that in a previous episode several years ago. So that story's there too, because Catan. Woo! All right, well, there you go, everybody. The Origin Game Fair Award nominations. Hopefully you have an opportunity to play all these games out there. They're all fantastic games. Like, we have played several of these, and even the ones we haven't played, we're really looking forward to play, because games are fun, and they don't necessarily have to be a party game to have a party around.
Right.
So until next time, this is Chris.
Hey, this is Anthony.
And we'll save you all a seat at the table. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Ryan George, host of the Portable Whole podcast. It's a podcast for creatives, especially indie comic makers, where we talk craft, conventions, publishing, and what it really takes to build something from scratch. I share real experiences from in the trenches and sit down with indie creators, big and small, to talk about the work behind the work. If you're building your own creative path and want honest conversations about making comics, this is the show for you. Search for the Portable Whole podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And watch out for the hole.